Football from Yard, the People's Channel.
Cross, Robbie! Oh, he met it so well. And Whitmore! Theodore Whitmore. An absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. And it's now 2-0.
Greetings, football from Yard Massive. The Reggae Boyz travelled to Suriname and had to settle for a 1-1 draw with the host nation. Winger Junior Flemmings was on the score sheet for the Reggae Boyz in the 39th minute, while a horrendous Amal Knight own goal in the 84th minute allowed Suriname to gain 1 point. Jamaica feel as if they let 3 points slip away, given the manner in which they conceded the goal and some poor finishing from the attackers in the final minutes of the game. Coach Paul Hall had a slim squad to pick from, as players were unable to get to Suriname for one mysterious reason or another. In addition, he had one last-minute surprise in the starting lineup. Andre Blake, who was announced as a starter earlier in the day, was replaced by Amal Knight. It was a gritty match for the players, with most giving a lot of effort on the night. The individual performances were largely rough around the edges, with most players being average to slightly below average, and one or two standing out. For the majority of the match, Amal Knight appeared solid in goal, making a few good saves and distributing the ball well. However, Knight sent all his good work down the drain as he made a horrific attempt to punch across and ended up hitting the ball into his own net. If not for his amateur-looking mistake, Knight's score would have been a lot higher. He gets a score of 5. Damien Lowe had a scrappy performance, battling with the Suriname attackers all night. There were some very good moments and other poor ones. Lowe made some good passes into Suriname's half, but also had a number of turnovers. Key interceptions and crunching tackles are a staple of Lowe's game and were on display, but he also had moments where he was out of position, providing too much space to the Suriname attackers. He gets a score of 6. Richard King was solid on the night after a rocky beginning to the game. He was very composed in possession and made a number of timely interceptions to impede Suriname's attacks. King, who's had a dip in club form recently, is a player who seems to lift his game, the better his teammates and the opposition are. There's room for improvement in the rotations with his central defensive partner and the wing-back, but King continues to show good potential. He gets a score of 7. It was an up-and-down night for Javane Brown. In the first half he held together defensively, but was inconsistent in possession. There were times on the defensive end where he could have used a bit more composure, but it was his aggressive approach that led to the team's goal, where Brown won the ball high in Suriname's half and crossed the ball into the box. Brown gets a slight boost for the direct impact on the scoreline. He gets a score of 6. Ricardo Thomas was aggressively running up and down the flank in the first half in a manner that didn't appear to be sustainable. Coach Hall was clearly telling Thomas to push forward aggressively to create space in attack for Junior Flemmings and the other members of the team. That approach resulted in dangerous plays from Jamaica's left side, but also for the Suriname attackers who would quickly attack the space that Thomas left vacant. Thomas was unable to keep up the pace and had to be replaced due to injury early in the second half. He gets a score of 4. Kevin Lambert made his return to the squad after a 1-year absence and was tasked with shielding the defensive line. Lambert primarily focused on safe passes and was good about getting in front of the attackers. He, however, was probably short on the aggression level you would expect from a defensive midfielder, apart from a needless tackle where he got a yellow card. The process of controlling, turning and then making the pass was too slow, reducing the effectiveness of the team's transition. He gets a score of 5. Devon Speedy Williams was the most active midfielder on the night, covering a lot of ground on the defensive end. Speedy didn't give away the ball a lot, but one of the few times he did, it did lead to a breakaway and a dangerous shot on goal for Suriname. Williams usually picks the safe passing option, but with Lambert also in the lineup, the team needed more from him going forward on the night. He gets a score of 5. Tyrek Mcgee had some dangerous moments in the game, particularly in the first 20 minutes, but then disappeared for large stretches of the match. The ball control and passing that fans rave about was on full display, but also was the lack of defensive impact and the nonchalant giveaways that have led to him struggling to find playing time at the club level. As he got subbed after a careless giveaway in the second half, Mcgee looked quite displeased with the coach's choice. He gets a score of 5. Goal scorer Junior Flemmings was Jamaica's man of the match on the night. Since his move to France, Flemmings' decision making appears to be a notch quicker and better than it used to be. There is still room for improvement, but Flemmings' direct style and aggressive play clearly gave Suriname problems. He was able to effectively use his pace to create danger on the attacking end and to get back on defense to win the ball. If there's one main opportunity for improvement, it would be Flemmings' execution on his free kicks. He gets a score of 8. Leon Bailey struggled for most of the game, beginning in the first minute when the turf monster appeared to reach out and injure him. His end product was poor, although he looked a lot sharper in the second half. Bailey didn't offer his wingback much in the way of defensive support, and seems to have the misfortune of playing most of his national team games shortly after recovering from injury. The burst of pace that Bailey was known for as a teenager seems to have diminished over the past few years. Based on Bailey's current attributes, the coaching staff may want to consider transitioning him to a more central, withdrawn role. He gets a score of 5. Atafroy Bygrave struggled for most of the game as he was an isolated figure battling Suriname defenders in a physical contest. Bygrave is an in-the-box striker with limited technical ability but tends to find space in the box and ways to get the ball into the net from acute angles. Coach Hall set up his team with 2 wingers who don't cross the ball with great frequency, effectively neutralizing any potential impact that a player like Bygrave could have on the game. He gets a score of 4. Youngster Kenroy Campbell received his second cap as he entered the fray in the second half for an injured Ricardo Thomas. Campbell displayed the inconsistencies you would expect from a young player in the Jamaican Premier League. He had a few dangerous runs and timely tackles early in his appearance, and then later in the game his inexperience was exposed as he made a few rash tackles and choices. He gets a score of 4. Kaheem Paris' addition in the second half increased Jamaica's creativity in the attack, as it provided another option who was able to create space and draw multiple defenders. Despite dangerous moments, there were a few plays where better execution would have led to Jamaica retaining possession or scoring. Paris has been increasing his defensive efforts substantially in recent years, but still has some way to go. He gets a 5. Daniel Green had a short cameo and had the opportunity to secure 3 points for Jamaica, but wasn't able to capitalize on the chance. Green is known for scoring goals with a high degree of difficulty and for being able to generate numerous goal-scoring opportunities, but he is known to struggle to convert routine chances. If Green is going to make an impact at the international level, he has to improve his consistency with the simple things. He gets a 4. The Reggae Boys have no time to dwell on the missed opportunity to collect 3 points, given the short turnaround for the next match, the return leg against Suriname on June 7th inside the National Stadium. The team is supposed to be bolstered by the availability of Shamar Nicholson, Jamal Lowe, and Ravel Morrison. With the last 2 Nation League matches being against Mexico, Jamaica will be looking to secure 3 points against Suriname, enhancing the team's chance to finish in the top 2 of the 3-team group, while earning automatic qualification to next year's Gold Cup. It does seem, however, that there are numerous sources of distraction at the moment, with a number of rumours surrounding conflict among the JFF, the coaching staff, and the players. One can only hope that the off-the-field excitement settles down in the near future. Bless up once again, and hopefully next time we link, it will not be to talk about in-house drama or finger-pointing.
Cross, Robbie! Oh, he met it so well. And Whitmore! Theodore Whitmore. An absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. And it's now 2-0.